Now on the APEC VIP hotline, cutting-edge training for the serious athlete, apecgo.com. Joining us right now, the new Houston Astros pitcher, maybe say ace, Philip Humber. How you doing, Philip?
I'm doing great, Bryan. How you doing?
Doing well. Congratulations. When did you find out that you were headed to Houston?
Well, I guess it was Friday afternoon. I knew something was going to happen as far as with the White Sox. They had kind of had a deadline there to do something, and got a phone call from the GM there in Chicago, and told me that Houston had claimed me on waivers, and that they'd be expecting a call from the Astros. And so about 3 hours later, I was pretty much officially an Astro.
Guess it was nice to know you weren't unemployed for very long, were you?
Yeah, that's true, man. It's one of those things you kind of get used to as far as kind of the way baseball works and things. That there's certain times in your career that you're going to kind of have to kind of sit and wait and figure out what's exactly going to happen. But it was, yeah. I mean, I couldn't have drawn it up any better as far as how it worked out. So I'm definitely thankful.
Now, for a guy that grew up in Nacogdoches and went to Carthage High School and played at Rice, were you an Astros fan?
Yeah. I mean, I was, growing up, as far as going to Major League games, I probably went to, fewer than 10, when I was a kid, but most of those were to the Astros. We had some family down there in Houston, so we'd go down there and stay with them, during the summers, and go down to the Dome and watch an Astros game or two. And I definitely have memories of watching Glenn Davis and Bill Doran and Biggio when he was young. I remember watching all those guys, and so it's going to be neat to be able to play for them.
And that team, although it hasn't been that way recently, but that team had a really rich tradition of great pitchers.
Yeah, I mean, especially going back, when Nolan was there and Mike Scott and J.R. Richard, and until recently with Oswalt and those guys. I mean, they've had some really strong pitching staffs, and hopefully I can go down there and help them out. I definitely am coming off a year that I'd like to forget and move on from, and I definitely had some highlights, but at the same time, I know I'm capable of pitching better than that, consistently, and I think I'm going to get an opportunity in Houston to do that, and so I'm really excited about it.
It's amazing that you'd say it's a year that you'd like to forget when it was a year where you had a perfect game.
Well, I mean, just overall, kind of as a pitcher, what you're looking for as a starter is consistency. I really couldn't put that together this past year. I battled, some injury a little bit, but, really more than anything, I think it was just, kind of my mental focus was maybe, not where it needed to be all the time, as far as, put a little too much pressure on myself, and some of the things that you go through, in life and through the course of the season, sometimes can throw you off a little bit. So I learned a lot from it, and I hope it's going to make me a better pitcher.
I mean, the arm injury is one thing. You got to be healthy, but how do you fix something like your confidence or your focus or something like that?
I think, sometimes it just takes, being able to get away from it just, for a little bit and being able to look back on, okay, what exactly happened? How did I get thrown off here? And you never forget, as an athlete, okay, I'm good enough to do this. I'm capable of doing this. But at the same time, sometimes you need to be reminded, maybe of what it is that got you to where you were, and kind of going back to that. And so that's kind of what I tried to do this off season. And along with preparing myself physically, that's kind of one of the things I've been working on, is just preparing myself mentally. As far as I'm not going to get distracted or start worrying about different things that are out of my control, and just focus on what I can control. And the seasons I've pitched the best, that's kind of where I've been. It's just pitching like I had nothing to lose, and so that's kind of what I'm trying to get back to. And like I said, I'm really excited about this next season, and can't wait to get started.
I guess your family's pretty happy about you pitching in Houston, huh?
They are, from what they said, that they're extremely excited. You know, they're going to be able to, it's right down the road from us. You know, I grew up in Carthage, and so a lot of my family's still there. So that's, you know, just right down 59 from Houston, and so they'll be able to come to a lot of games and things like that. And you know, obviously Kristen and our little boy won't be having to fly, you know, and that's huge.
Yeah.
You know, be able to just drive home when they need to, and things like that. So definitely a blessing. You know, I knew probably I wasn't going to be back in Chicago. Just they had kind of moved on in their rotation a little bit, and so I knew I'd probably be somewhere else. But you know, it's one of those things that you hate to even think about. Well, maybe Houston or maybe Texas, because it just seems like it's too good to be true. And so when it ended up happening, you know, it's just something you're thankful for, and you want to make the best of it and enjoy it while it's here.
How much of a difference does it make that Houston's staying or actually moving into the American League? Does that help you, or would you have rather moved into another league?
Well, I mean, I know the league very well. You know, the American League. That's where I've spent most of my career, and so very familiar with the cities and the players and things like that. You know, they say that the National League is a little easier to pitch in, just because you're facing, you know, a pitcher rather than a professional hitter. You know, so you know, as a pitcher, you're always looking for any advantage you can get. But at the same time, I feel comfortable, you know, in the American League, and you know, I've enjoyed some success there. So I'm excited about it. You know, excited about, you know, the Astros kind of moving into a new era. You know, as far as, you know, new league, new division, and you know, kind of a young team, and so it's going to be an interesting, you know, transition. You know, I come from the White Sox, where there's a lot of older guys and, you know, lots of veterans that have been around and stuff. As of right now, you know, the Astros, you know, it's kind of a very young team, and so looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to kind of maybe starting a tradition there and being a part of that. But yeah, I think it's going to be different for everybody next year, because we're going to not only play American League baseball in Houston, but all the interleague games that are going to be going on, they're going to be interleague all year round next year, you know, because there's, you know, 15 teams in each league. So, you know, that's going to be interesting as well.
Now, and also going back to Houston, where you had such success at Rice, how much does that mean to you?
Well, I mean, I have good memories of the city for sure. You know, in college, you know, I was part of the, you know, national championship team at Rice, and you know, got to enjoy, you know, 3 good seasons there in Houston, and I love the campus of Rice, but then also the city. You know, Houston, it's one of my favorite cities, and I think a lot of that's just because it's close to home. You know, and you just feel more comfortable there. You know, the people are more similar to us as East Texans, and a little more laid back pace. And even though it's a huge city, you know, I mean, depending on what part of it you're in, you know, it's kind of your own little neighborhood kind of thing. So, yeah, I think we're excited about that, and you know, I know Kirsten is, and we're already looking for a place to stay, and trying to decide, you know, where we want to be. Of course, I want to be over there by Rice, you know, and things like that. But I think she might be looking a little closer to Tyler, you know, see if we can get something maybe on the north side of the loops there. But either way it goes, it's going to be, I think, a good situation for us.
Well, what are the next few weeks going to be like for you then?
It really doesn't change a whole lot, to be honest with you. I mean, it's the best part to me is that, you know, I mean, we know where we're going to be. Mm-hmm. You know, as far as next spring training, we're going to be, you know, in Kissimmee. And well, I mean, unless something happens where they could trade me or something like that. But, you know, as of right now, we're locked into where we're going to go, and so you just continue with the off season. I've been working hard all off season, preparing myself for the coming season, and other than that, just enjoying being home with family and the holidays and all that good stuff. Because for too long you won't get to see these faces anymore. So try to enjoy as much as you can, and like I say, get your work in and get ready.
How's your arm?
It's feeling great. You know, I haven't started throwing a lot yet. We've you know, tossed a little bit here and there, but here pretty shortly we'll start cranking it up, getting it going again, and it's feeling good though. And then Bobby's really Bobby Stroop's really helped me this off season, as far as figuring out, maybe some of the things that may have caused, me to have a little injury last year, and some of the things we can do to work around that. So, always enjoy working out with him.
Well, Philip, we're excited that you're going to be here close to home so we can go down and see you pitch, pretty often, and hope you guys have a great Christmas, and congratulations again on moving to the Astros.
All right, I appreciate it, Bryan.
Hey, good talking to you, Philip Humber. Philip Humber, a new Houston Astros pitcher on Bryan Houston Sports Radio Live on 99.3 Talk FM.